Nancy, how's it going?
Hey, Bess. How'd you know it was me?
Telepathy, of course. Just another of my many talents.
You are so full of it. She got caller ID, Nancy. So now, instead of hanging up on the geeks that always call her, she just doesn't answer the phone.
Very funny. So what's up?
Believe it or not, on some nights, this house gets attacked by a pack of dogs. Sally's so scared of them, she left me here by myself.
Did you say dogs?
She couldn't have, George. Dogs don't attack houses.
They were definitely dogs. They came out of nowhere and started leaping at the windows and scratching at the doors like they wanted to get in.
Maybe that was just their way of being friendly.
These dogs were not friendly, believe me, and they had glowing yellow eyes. A birdwatcher I ran into said they were ghosts.
Ghosts?
The man who built Sally's place on Moon Lake was a gangster. The birdwatcher said that the ghosts of his dogs show up every time someone new tries to live here.
The place is haunted by ghost dogs?
Like there's such a thing as ghosts. But it does sound like you've got another mystery on your hands, Detective Drew.
There's a private cemetery in the woods out back. Malone and his dogs are supposedly buried there.
Creepy.
And there were paw prints in the cemetery. Fresh paw prints.
Are you sure you're going to be all right there by yourself? We'd volunteer to drive out there and keep you company, but unfortunately my car's in the shop, and you know what a scaredy cat George is.
That's okay. There's really no room, and believe me, living conditions here are pretty primitive.
Scaredy cat, huh? You're gonna pay for that remark, dear cousin.
Bye, you guys.
Don't be a stranger.
Take care.
Okay, so we need to talk to Red about getting a spark plug for the boat, but it's daytime, so we need to make it night. I forgot to look at this poem. This is an important piece, or it's an important hint for a puzzle later on. So, okay, we're gonna make it night, and then go talk to the bird watcher.
Well, it's Miss Nancy Drew.
Please, just call me Nancy.
I will if you keep your voice down. I just heard a cerulean warbler.
Really? Are they rare?
Something tells me they're gonna be with you around. You didn't come up here to chit-chat, did you?
Are you out here all by yourself?
I came to see birds, not people. The more people there are in a forest, the fewer birds there are. It's a fact of life. Reason I like to come here is because nobody else does. It's perfect. Not a decent grocery store, restaurant, or motel for miles.
You don't happen to have any spare spark plugs lying around, do you?
What's a pretty young lady like you know about spark plugs?
Enough to know that the engine on Sally's boat is missing one, and that I'm going to be stuck here unless and until I replace it.
I might be able to help you out. After all, I was a Boy Scout. Be prepared.
You mean you have a spark plug I could buy?
Well, just so happens I've got 2 spark plugs right here in my pocket. Question is, if I give you one, what do I get for it? I don't need cash, but maybe you could take a few pictures for me. Know how to use a digital camera?
Sure. What would you like me to take pictures of?
Birds, of course. There's a couple of birds I'm supposed to take pictures of for PEPSOB. That's People for the Preservation and Study of Birds. You can recognize them by their songs, which are on this tape, which you can play on my cassette player, which you're going to have to get from M's Emporium as soon as you get your boat fixed. Think you can handle that?
Sounds good.
Here's everything you'll need. M's Emporium is up lake on the west side. Not that I'm trying to get you out of my hair or anything, but try not to come pestering me till you're done, okay? One more thing. You smoke?
Only when I'm on fire.
Oh, you're a spunky one, aren't you? Well, these woods may not look it, but they're tinder dry. One lit match, and the best bird habitat on the East Coast will go up in smoke. So watch what you do. 'Cause if anything like that happens, I won't be looking for birds anymore, I'll be looking for you. Watch yourself out there.
Okay, so we got the spark plug, but we have to take pictures of birds. One of the many chores that we'll have to do in this game. Since we can't fix the boat at night, we're gonna make it day again. And now we can fix the boat and go to M's Emporium, meet the other characters in this game. Okay, so the spark plug goes here. But we also have to fix these screws. And the hint to do that is here. So plus means this is 0, this is plus, this is minus. So we want plus 0 minus and plus. And now we can put it this way.
Hey there! Welcome to M's Emporium. I'm Emily Griffin.
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm staying out at the old Malone place. You know, the house Sally McDonald bought?
Now, what's she doing inviting guests out to that old dump?
She's got a little problem she's hoping I can solve. But right now, I need a chainsaw.
A chainsaw?
A tree fell down in the driveway behind my car, and now I'm blocked in.
I'll get Tucker Davis to take care of it. Gotta warn you, though. Tucker tends to do things in his own sweet time. So how come Sally ain't with you?
The ghost dog scared her off.
I told her. I said, Sally, that old house is gonna be nothing but trouble. And sure enough, Malone's hounds have come back. Just when we all thought they were finally resting in peace.
Have you ever seen the dogs?
Nope. Don't want to, neither. Just hearing them howl's bad enough. Scares the bejeebies out of me.
When was the last time they appeared?
Seems like they show up every time somebody buys the place. So the last time would have been 10, 15 years ago.
I caught a strange man prowling around last night. He called himself Red Knot.
The bird watcher. Comes in every so often to stock up on that weirdo food he eats. You know how them tree hugger types are.
Has he been in the area long?
About as long as those pink-billed warblers and purple-eyed owls he's always chasing have been around. Couple of months, I guess.
Mr. Knott did me a favor, and in return he asked me to pick up a cassette player from you.
Oh, yeah. I got it right here. Thought maybe the old coot had forgotten he left it here. What else can I do you for?
These so-called ghost dogs left very real paw prints. I saw some near the cemetery that's by the Malone house. Have you ever been there?
Can't say as I have. Poking around cemeteries ain't exactly a hobby with me.
I need to buy something.
You want it? I got it. Long as you pay cash, that is.
That's just it. I'm running kind of low on cash. Would it be possible to start a line of credit?
My daddy always said, neither a borrower nor a lender be. But I'll tell you what, seeing as how you're a friend of Sally's and seeing as how I got some things around here that could use doing, I guess we could work something out. What is it you need?
Do you sell sandpaper by any chance?
I do, but Mr. Birdbrain was in last week and cleaned me out. Said he was tired of that observation platform of his giving him splinters in his hinter regions.
I've disturbed him enough already. Would anyone else around here have some?
He's your only hope. But you better ask him for it quick. That deck of his is pretty big, and those squares I sold him are pretty small.
Where do you find your... Achoo!
Bless you. It's all the dust. Sometimes I think it grows on this stuff.
You seem to be selling everything under the sun in here.
Best part is, I got most of this stuff for free. See, back in the days of Prohibition, that old Malone place used to be Party Central. Only way to get to and from back then was by boat. And when those boats dumped, on account of bad weather or bad driving or the feds suddenly showing up, well, everything from diamond necklaces to full bottles of illegal booze sank to the bottom of the lake.
So it's finders keepers, huh?
That's right. See, recovering objects from the lake bed is illegal. According to Squeaky Wheel Acres, dragging the lake for artifacts was upsetting its delicate eco-balance. So thanks mostly to his constant squawking, the state banned it.
Squeaky Wheel Acres?
Jeff Akers, local park ranger. I keep telling him all this stuff washed up on shore. But does that snobby little stickler for rules believe me?
Sounds like you aren't real fond of Ranger Akers.
Jeff Akers could take all his precious rules and regulations and take a flying leap. Now, I got nothing against getting more customers in here, mind you, but I kind of like Moon Lake the way it is. Small, quiet, out of the way. But Jeff Akers, why, there's nothing he'd like better than to see all the lake and all the property around it turned into one big, noisy, jam-packed state park.
Why would he want that?
He's the type of guy who likes to boss people around, makes them feel important. So if the park got way bigger and was crawling with tourists, why, instead of giving out maybe 1 ticket for littering every 2 days, he'd be giving out 12 tickets every 2 hours. He'd be in heaven. Well, hey, I'm sure you got better things to do than getting your ear chewed off by yours truly.
Guess I'll see you later.
Always a pleasure.
So, exploring in here, there's a couple things we can look at. Worms. And the bottles are over here. That's what Nancy was talking about before. I think that's really it, actually. Just the worms. Okay, so let's talk to Ranger Akers. Jeff Akers. And then we will go back and start taking pictures of birds.
Hello, can I help you?
Hi, my name's Nancy Drew. I'm visiting Sally McDonald. Are you the park ranger?
Park Ranger Jeff Akers, at your service. Let's see, Sally McDonald is the woman who bought the old Malone place.
That's right, only she's gone back to Philadelphia. Malone's dogs got to her.
Don't tell me she believes all that ghost dog stuff.
Does that mean you don't?
There's always a logical explanation for everything. Whatever's out there, I'm sure they're no more and no less than exactly what they look and sound like. Dogs. Living, breathing, very noisy dogs.
Any idea what would make a dog's eyes glow yellow?
Something in their diet, maybe? Some oddball vitamin or protein.
Why do you think dogs would attack Sally's house?
Dogs can be trained to do almost anything.
Have you ever investigated the ghost dogs yourself?
Do you always ask this many questions?
Sorry, it's my nature. But would it be okay if I asked a few more?
I'm a very busy man, Miss Drew, but I am here to serve the public.
This place isn't exactly your ordinary ranger station, is it?
It's also the Moon Lake Post Office, and it's the unofficial Moon Lake Museum of Factual and Natural History. I've lived here all my life, so I can't help but feel obligated to protect not only the area's flora and fauna, but also its past.
Which is apparently rather colorful.
As a member of the law enforcement community, I prefer to dwell on the positive aspects of history instead of on the activities of a bunch of glorified thugs.
So you'd probably like to see the old Malone place torn down and forgotten.
Not necessarily. It's hard to ignore its potential as a tourist attraction. And if that's what it takes to draw more people to Moon Lake, I'm a reasonable man.
As an officer of the law, can you think of anyone who might want to scare Sally off her property?
The woman who owns the shop across the lake? Emily Griffin? I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure she's been dragging the lake in front of Malone's house for artifacts, which is illegal. It would be a lot easier for her to do her dirty work if nobody was living there.
What do you know about the cemetery behind the Malone house?
People are buried there. Beyond that, what's to know?
Is Malone buried there?
That's the rumor.
Would you mind mailing this letter for me?
Not at all.
Do you have something I could use to test the well water at Sally's?
Sure do. Simple to use, too. Just pump some water into this vial, return the sample to me, I'll send it off, and in a day or two you'll find out whether or not your water's fit to drink.
Does everyone out here have a well?
Everyone who doesn't want to die of thirst does. Hooking up to a municipal water supply is out of the question. Too expensive.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Please do. And if you have any questions, any more questions, just ask.
Thanks for all your help.
That's why I'm here. Oh, and one last thing. The deer mouse population has boomed this year, so please take precautions if you're cleaning out any area where they may have nested. They can carry some nasty diseases.
Thanks for the tip, Ranger Akers.
Okay, so in the ranger station, you you can look at a bunch of different resources, learn about trees, and you can also get hints for a lot of things later in the game. Like the deer mouse thing, and also, what else? So here's the deer mouse virus. Oh, I think you can also learn how to test the well water. Forest fire prevention, Lyme disease. That's not really that important. Just different diseases. Oh, this is like what you could get if you drink untreated water. Okay. What else? This has a little... I think there's like a... Oh, I guess there's not. You can just look at the different, like, red-tailed hawk. That will come in handy later on, because that's one of the birds we'll need to take a picture of. Here you can learn about FDR, CCC. I don't know how important that is to the plot of the game.
I probably shouldn't mess around with this without Ranger Acres' permission.
These are old Moon Lake records, and we'll do a puzzle with that later. Here's more. Okay, priming a pump. So this will tell you how to prime the pump. Basically, we just pour bottled water into it, and then to prime it. So that's talking about that, and then pour or take the test tube back to Ranger Acres. Nature slideshow. History of Moon Lake. Famous residents. So you can read about Mickey Malone. Who got rich smuggling and distributing illegal liquor. People came from up and down the East Coast to attend the parties he threw at Moon Lake. He was convicted of tax evasion in 1933 and sent to prison, where he eventually died. About Jeff Akers. Okay. Roman numerals. This is a hint for a later puzzle. Tells you how to read Roman numerals. Yeah, I think that's really all. Park regulations, leash laws. Dogs must be kept on a leash at all times. Voting. Okay, none of this is really that important, so... Okay, let's go test the well water and take pictures of birds. So, to test the well water, we need our bucket. Okay, that doesn't do anything. I forgot to do this. So, first you have to use your pen. Oh, okay. Never mind, you just pour the water in like that, and then, okay, now we can get this. tube. Okay, we can take that
I don't
back
need
to
water right now.
Ranger Acres later. And we also can now listen to Red's tape.
American goldfinch. Northern cardinal. Red-tailed hawk. Western tanager.
Okay, so that tells us all the birds we need. Goldfinch, cardinal, red-tailed hawk, tanager, and I think there was another one, but I forgot. So let's go do that.